This weekend, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane ended in disaster. A brutal double eye poke left Aspinall unable to continue, and instead of a DQ for Gane, the fight was ruled a no contest. No winner, no loser, just another main event wiped off the record books. And somehow, people are blaming Aspinall, saying he should have continued. But here's the thing, we've seen this story before. Every time a fighter tries to, quote, tough it out, they end up losing. And that's exactly why this no contest rule needs to go. Okay, first things first. Here's what the rules say and how they actually work. A no contest happens when a fight ends under unfair or accidental circumstances. An eye poke, a groin shot, a head clash, anything that prevents a fair outcome before enough of the fight has passed. The bout is therefore voided. A disqualification, on the other hand, happens when a fighter commits a serious or repeated foul, something intentional or reckless that the fighter ends up losing. In short, no contest means no one's at fault. Disqualification means you broke the rules. But here's the issue. The difference between the two is completely subjective. And here's the crazy part. All of this is happening right now, not years ago. I'm talking about recent back-to-back events. At UFC Fight Night 259 just a few weeks ago, Sedriques Dumas got kicked so hard in the groin, he had to be stretchered out of the octagon, sent to the hospital. The result? A no contest. Then the very next week in Vancouver, Mike Malott hit Kevin Holland with a brutal groin kick. Holland took the full 5 minutes, was clearly compromised, but chose to keep fighting and ended up losing a unanimous decision. And it's not just these two. Even Josiah Musasa versus Colby Thickness, fighting in Perth. That was literally last month. Musasa took a nasty low blow, got several minutes to recover, continued fighting, and still lost the decision. So think about that. 3 fights in a span of just over a month, all ended or being affected by illegal fouls. If you can't continue, it's a no contest. If you do continue, you're hurt and you lose. Either way, the fighter who got fouled ends up paying the price. So after seeing what's been happening lately, let's talk about what happens when fighters do try to keep going. Because history shows almost every time someone tries to be, quote, a warrior and fight through a foul, it ends up backfiring for them. Take Cejudo versus Song Yadong earlier this year. He gets poked badly in the eye late in round 3. He tells ref Jason Herzog that he can't see, but Herzog basically tells him he has to finish the round so the fight can go to the judges' scorecards.
The water in the ready? You ready here?
Hold on, I'm still...
Okay. All right, you heard Jason Herzog, and I just checked with Mark Ratner.
So Henry fights half blind just so it wouldn't be ruled a no contest, and then loses a technical decision. Same thing happened at UFC 252. Daniel Cormier took a brutal eye poke that the ref completely missed. He fought on and practically blind in one eye and lost a unanimous decision. Mark Goddard later apologized, but the result does not change. And we've seen this pattern for years. Fighters like Michael Bisping, Anthony Smith, pushing through fouls only to lose anyways. So yeah, maybe Tom Aspinall could have continued, but judging by history, if he had, we'd probably be talking about how he'd lost his belt instead of whether the rule is fair or not. The truth is, the rule doesn't reward toughness, it absolutely punishes it. Now, just look at the past few years. This is a list of just some of the no contests that's happened in the last 5 years, and only a handful ever have been ruled a disqualification. Peter Yan's illegal knee and Piero Rodriguez's headbutts. Everything else just wiped clean like it absolutely never happened. And if you want proof of just how inconsistent the rules are, go back to 2020, Ed Herman versus Mike Rodriguez. Rodriguez landed a clean knee to the body that should have finished the fight, but the ref thought it was a low blow and stopped the action. Herman got 5 minutes to recover, came back and submitted Rodriguez in round 3. Rodriguez's team appealed. It got denied. The UFC even paid him his win bonus privately, admitting that the call was absolutely wrong, but the record still says Ed Herman wins by submission. Instant replay was added to the United rules, but not every state uses it. So depending on where you fight, a single mistake can still ruin your career. And that's the heart of this whole issue. Intent doesn't change the impact. If a foul ends a fight, an eye poke, a groin shot, an illegal strike, it's fight-ending damage. It doesn't matter if it was accidental or not. You are responsible for controlling your own weapons. And if you think fighters don't take advantage of this system, absolutely think again. Derek Lewis is one of the biggest names in UFC heavyweight history. Straight up admitted it in an interview with MMA Junkie.
You'd never cheat in a fight, though, right? Maybe just a few mulligans on the golf course?
I cheat in a fight, shit. I know one time I kneed him in the nuts. I need them in the nuts, like right off the bat. Soon the fight started, I need them in the nuts on purpose, just because I wanted to get my nerves, to calm down. Yeah, I cheat. Shit, any means necessary. If I want to start poking the eyes and all that, I'm gonna poke you in the eye because you're gonna get a warning. They're not gonna take a point soon you poke somebody in the eye. Shit, everybody know that.
And that's not a fringe opinion. That's a top tier fighter openly saying he'll cheat because the worst thing that happens is just a warning. And it gets even crazier. In Tom Aspinall's own post-fight vlog from his official YouTube channel, referee Jason Herzog, the same referee that I mentioned earlier, is filmed backstage telling him this.
The best part about fouling, right, is that it works. So the best thing you can do is like keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage.
Just let that sink in. That referee is the same official who oversaw the Song Yadong versus Henry Cejudo eye poke. The same guy who told Cejudo, you have to finish this round. Openly acknowledging on camera that fouls are effective. So when people say fouls don't decide fights, even the referees are admitting that they can, and they do. And here's the wildest part. In the last 5 years, there's only been 2 disqualifications in the entire UFC. 2! That's how hard it is to actually get disqualified in this sport. March of 2021, Peter Yan kneeing Aljamain Sterling square in the face while he was down. A blatant illegal knee. And even then, it took like 5 minutes of confusion before they finally called it a DQ. The second one was last year, Piera Rodriguez versus Ariana Carnelossi. Rodriguez was told multiple times, literally like 5 warnings, to stop headbutting her opponent. She kept doing it, so the ref had no choice but to wave it off and call it for Carnelossi, even though Carnelossi was clearly losing that fight. Those are the only 2 disqualifications we've had since 2020. Both were so painfully obvious, so unbelievably stupid that the referee couldn't possibly call them accidents. Everything else, eye pokes, groin shots, back of the head strikes, all ruled accidental, all no contests. So unless you literally do something fucking stupid, you basically get a free pass to foul your opponent. Now here's my take, and this is just what I think. If a foul ends a fight, it should never be a no contest. If it happens early, call it a DQ. If it happens late, go to a technical decision based on the scorecards. Boxing already does this for accidental headbutts. The system already exists. Either way, there has to be accountability because right now the rule protects the fouler more than the victim. Which is stupid. Let's just think about that. When you go back to the definitions, a disqualification says when a fighter commits a serious or repeated foul. When are we gonna call these fouls serious? When is a foul serious enough? Is a foul that ends a fight not serious enough? It's just stupid. If the fight ended because of the foul, it is clearly serious enough, make it a DQ. But of course, that is just my take. I want to know, what do you guys think? Should we make the change here? Should we finally get rid of the no contest rule? We've seen the UFC make changes before. They added instant replays, updated judging criteria, even started redesigning the gloves. So clearly, it's possible to evolve. But then, after the Gane versus Aspinall fight, a reporter asked Dana White.
It's a bit of a weird question, right? It was ruled a no contest because of an unintentional eye poke. What does it take to make an eye poke intentional? And is there even a way you could ever prove that?
And what was Dana White's response?
Who the fuck knows? Who gives a shit? What are you gonna do?
Maybe that's the real problem. Because until people running the sport actually give a shit, nothing's going to change. This is Shy Got Picks. Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you agree. I'll catch you next time. Stay up.
Because you're gonna get a warning, they're not gonna take a point soon you poke somebody in the eye. Shit, everybody know that. Yeah, so I'm gonna knee them in the nuts, poke them in the eye, I'm do whatever illegal. Then they say, oh no, I'm gonna be like, oh man, my bad, I didn't mean to do that. But just know, it's gonna be on record, right? Just know that if I ever do that in my previous fight, just know I'm laughing on the inside and saying that I got your ass. You know. Yeah, I'm a cheat.